There are many arguments used against Protestantism, and in this video I will respond to the most popular ones, ranking and debunking them. They will be ranked as followed. A tier arguments are to be strong and logically sound, even if I disagree with them. B tier arguments are built off of really shaky foundations and probably shouldn't be used. C tier arguments are so bad that if anyone uses them, they are practically discredited from knowing what they're talking about. And finally, D tier arguments, which are plainly dishonest. Let's get into it. First is the claim that Protestants lack apostolic succession. For this argument to work, you have to use a definition of apostolic succession that the Church Fathers did not believe in. Ecclesialists often define apostolic succession as a sacrament-doing ability which comes from the laying on of hands from a bishop, and thus no Protestants aside from the Church of England have apostolic succession to the apostles. The problem with this argument is that it has no historical basis for defining apostolic succession in this way. In the early church, apostolic succession referred to a succession of teaching, which would be done through either an elder or a bishop. Under the historic definition, all Protestants absolutely do have apostolic succession, as the first generation of reformers were all either priests or bishops in the Roman Catholic Church. Because this argument relies on a faulty definition of things, it gets a B tier. Next is the claim that sola scriptura cannot be true because an infallible scripture needs an infallible interpreter. However, this argument cannot be backed up by church history. During the Arian crisis, Athanasius did not need an infallible interpreter to tell him Jesus is God. No, he saw it plainly in the scriptures and was able to debate Arian heretics on the New Testament long before it was officially canonized by the church. Old Testament Israel was not infallible, but that did not stop them from having their infallible Torah. There's all sorts of other issues with this argument, but I don't really want to go on for too long about this. For the previous two reasons, this argument goes in C tier. Now we'll look at the claim that Protestants are disunified. This claim is often built upon a first glance at the Protestant churches, when you're not realising that all the mainline churches are actually in communion with each other, similar to Eastern and Oriental Orthodoxy. We do have different theologies and jurisdictions, but it doesn't stop us from being united together as one Protestant church in practice. Similar to how Eastern Orthodoxy has multiple jurisdictions, there's still one Actually, mainline Protestants are more united than Eastern Orthodoxy. E tier. The next claim is that Protestants lack beautiful churches. This claim is simply ridiculous. I mean, just look at all of these beautiful churches you can see right now. And before you claim they were all invented by Catholics, all of these are American churches, which has always been a Protestant nation. This claim is simply dishonest. For this reason, it goes in D tier. Not much to really say, other than that. Next, there is the claim that the Church Fathers were not Protestant. This argument isn't that strong. Firstly, there is not a single Protestant doctrine which cannot be found in at least some of the Church Fathers. But even if that was not the case, why does it matter? It's not like they were all Roman Catholic or Eastern Orthodox either. What we definitely can say, however, is that if they were brought to the present day and were told to choose which church to be in, they would almost certainly choose one of the mainline Protestant churches, since both Roman Catholicism and Eastern Orthodoxy, they have many countless apostolic traditions which were simply made up in later centuries, such as icon veneration. Again, I'm not saying that the Church Fathers were full Protestants 5 solas in all, but Protestantism is definitely the closest to the early church out of all current Christian churches. C tier. Lastly, there is a claim that Protestantism was started by Martin Luther, while the ecclesialist churches were started by Jesus Christ. This claim is purely ridiculous. As I said earlier, all uniquely Protestant beliefs can be found clearly stated within the early Church Fathers. The Protestant churches did not spring up out of nowhere. No, they were pre-existing churches that were forced out of the Roman Catholic Church, which is also how they have apostolic succession. This is a dishonest way of arguing, hence this argument goes straight down where it belongs in D tier. Deus benedictat.